New week and new Captain of Industry episode. Welcome back to our update 2 series where we're playing on a completely custom map that I created. Don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to download this map. Also, if you want to download all of the blueprints that I've been creating in this series, you can find them on our Discord community. But yeah, today let's dive right in. And first of all, I want you to know that I've started to do what I said in the last episode, which is to replace all of my coal boilers with actual electric boilers. So it's over here, for example, right? You can see them. This is obviously using a lot more energy than before. We're now jumping more often than not very close to the 95 megawatts that one of a nuclear reactor is giving us. So soon we'll probably have to start the second one. But with this, we're using a lot less of coal, right? And that was the whole goal. By the way, I also deleted the old electric factory that was over here because this was based on coal, right? So we don't need it anymore. The only thing that we did needed was a bit of steam for the paper production. So I added also one more electric boiler over here. I did the same for the water production that is next to our farms, right? I actually paused 2 of them because I think I was making too much water. But yeah, you have over here, all of the boilers that are needed, electric boilers. So this is a lot of energy, right? 8 for each. But the key thing too to remember is it's not just that I don't need to use the coal anymore. It's also I'm not making exhaust anymore, right? So I'm decreasing the pollution and I can also take out all of those buildings, right? This exhaust scrubber is not needed anymore, and therefore the burner for the sulfur is not needed anymore, or the tower for the coal CO2 is not needed anymore. So yeah, we can basically delete all of this. Now I'm gonna keep this for now, just in case, it's reserves, but everything else I'm deleting. So that is also giving us some space and a bit more population, right? We have no need for all of those workers that were here. So that will be good for the future. In the last episode, we started to make gold, so it is time today to start using it to make microchips. Now, by the way, I'm not sure how safe it is to have the gold outside like this. Anybody can steal it, but yeah, it's still cool to be able to see it. So this is the microchip production. And what I'm really happy with is this is actually a very easily scalable production. If you can see, basically what I need to do if I want to scale is just copy one of these, put it there, and everything is already connected. Then I can put one more whenever I need to. And then every time I put 2 lines like this, I just need to also add one of these silicon, what's the name of this one? Silicon crystallizer, right? We need 1 for 2 lines of this. So this is really cool. Now, by the way, you may be wondering what's happening over here. Why am I missing a building? This is just because there was apparently a very small mountain, a very small, hill that I missed in my cleaning over here. So yeah, I couldn't place, basically one of these buildings on it. But we can fix that in the future. The important thing is I have one line that is working, one line meaning microchips. Now the microchip production is not the most hard, but it is a slightly complex one. So let me show you how that works. First of all, as I said, we need at the beginning one of those silicon crystallizer. It's gonna take a bit of silicon poly and a bit of water, really a bit, just one, to make the silicon wafer. So that's what's happening over here, right? We have the silicon poly, we have a bit of water that's coming over here at level 1, right? And it's going to be dropped. So that's a very simple production. And then when you make it, it goes into this one over here, right? That's the silicon wafer. The poly, by the way, right, you remember we're making it over here, so that's why it's very close to deliver for a truck. But the complex thing is when we look at this microchip machine, because you can see there is a lot of recipes, and it's not like you can choose and do only one of those recipes. You will actually have to do all of them. Because if you look, the goal is to make microchips. To make microchips, you're gonna need gold and a microchip stage 4B. Now, how do we get the microchip 4B? Well, you're gonna need basically a 4A. Then how do you get a 4A? It is over here. You need a 3C and more and more and more. So basically that is why you have this line like this, but also this belt over here. So let me again copy this like that, so I can show you even better this whole thing. So what is happening? Basically what is happening is that we're gonna send some wafer. That's what's coming, you know, on this belt over here. Now the wafer is gonna come over here. We're gonna bring a bit of acid on this belt over here and a bit of water, sorry, not belt, pipe, on these two over here, right? And with this, the silicon wafer is going to be transformed into microchip stage 1A. Then this 1A will go directly into the next one, right? And with a bit of copper and plastic, which is what's coming from above, this building is really cool that basically it is quite low, so you can have belts that go at level 2 and level 3 on top of those buildings, and that's how I made it so compact and at the same time also so modular, because I have these belts here and there, and you can just add more buildings on the side. And given that the quantities that you need are so small, you can definitely add many of these lines if you want. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, you know, we take stage 1A and copper and plastic and we make stage 1B. And then this 1B will go directly into the next one, right? Where 1B and a bit of gold will make 1C. And then this 1C will go into this flat sorter where I say, well, if you find a 1C, a 2C or a 3C, then send it on this belt. If it's not that, which basically means it's a microchip, then you can go to the top, and that basically means you're gonna go into the storage over here, right? But more importantly, right now we said we're making 1C, so that means it's gonna go all the way over here. It goes back into this flat balancer where it is actually the priority, so it's gonna be sent directly back into it, right? And then back into it, that means it's over here. We're gonna take 1C and a bit of acid and water to make 2A, then 2A goes over here, and with copper and plastic 2B, and then it goes here, 2B with a bit of gold, 2C, and then again into the filters, and now it goes again back here, right? And then again 2C plus acid 3A, 3A plus copper and plastic 3B, and then 3B plus gold 3C. It goes back over here, and now we get to the final stage, which is 3C plus acid and water equal 4A, 4A plus copper and plastic equal 4B, and 4B plus gold equal microchips. And so at that point, the filter or the flat sorter, sorry, is not going to take it on the side, it's going to put it in the front. And we've made, not one, 8 microchips at that point. So it took a while to make 8 microchips, right? Now there's another way to do this, which is, of course, you could have something slightly different where instead of having only, you know, those 3 like this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put them like this and like this and like this where, you know, this is just going to do each one stage, right? This one would be doing only the 1A, this one will be only doing the 1B, this one only the 1C, and then here it would only doing the 2, right? The 2A, then the 2B, the 2C, etc. And this one will basically only ever do microchips. But 1, this is super long, right? It's super long, so that's not very easy to put in your city. 2 is you need to now send the same resources multiple times, right? I need to send, for example, acid and water on this one, but also on this one, also on this one, and also on that one. And then 3, and most importantly, the reason why I don't want to do this right now is that this microchip machine requires not just electricity and people, it requires a new thing, which is computing power or teraflops, right? Server capacity, if you wish. Each of these require 3. You might be like, okay, 3, that's not too bad. Well, yeah, it is bad. Because right now, the only way we can get teraflops is these small mainframe computers, right? Small server base, if you wish, which is only giving us 8. And it is consuming 2 megawatts and 12 people and maintenance level 2, right? So to have more of these, I mean, if I want to do this line like this, I would need definitely a lot more of these. So that's not how I want to do it, at least at the start. At the end, maybe you want to do this like this, but for now, we're gonna keep it with this very compact layout, which is, of course, you know, will be available on my Discord community with the blueprints as always. But yeah, with this, we're basically making some microchips. Of course, we're not making a lot, right? Because we're only making 8, but we're only making 8 not every time, right? One time is gonna work on this one time on another. So basically only 25% of the time is making this one. So basically we're only making 2 microchips per minute, if I'm not mistaken, right? Don't hesitate to tell me if you have any questions, thoughts, or requests. But yeah, that's the microchip production. The really cool thing with microchip is that now that enables us to move to the next stage. And I'm gonna do something a bit strange. I'm gonna do it at the complete end of the bus, not very close to it. On the other hand, the reason is I want to do it quite close to the laboratory, the labs that are over here. This is also showing that, you know, this bus that I created is now getting a bit to the end of its useful life. We will probably have to create a new one soon that will be bigger, that will be better, but it has served me well so far. So yeah, what we're gonna do is, you know, bring over here some microchips, and then these microchips are gonna go into a new assembly. It's an assembly robotic. Why an assembly robotic and not, you know, the old ones that we used to have, for example, assembly level 3? Well, let me show you why. Because if you look at this one over here, it is not going to make any of the things that I want, right? It's not making, for example, it's not making use of those microchips. It is only in those assembly robotic level 1 or level 2, spoiler alert, we're gonna get another one too later, that you can use the microchips. The first thing we're gonna do, or the only thing you're gonna do with the microchips, is to actually make electronics level 3. You're gonna take your electronics level 2 and those microchips to make the electronics level 3. So that's what's gonna happen over here. You know, we have the electronics level 2 already coming there. So we're just gonna expand that. Alright, it's gonna come over here. Then that's gonna make the electronics level 3. Now you may be wondering, how do I have already some electronics level 3 over here when I didn't even build this? Remember, on the map we did find quite a bit of electronics level 2 and level 3 in some of the previous episodes, so that's what I have over here. This is just the reserve that we had, which I've started using to make something else, which is the lab equipment level 4. And again, this is not available in the old one. If you look over here, assembly level 3, you will not find the lab equipment level 4, only the level 3. So you need to build one of these assembly robotic, which will take again more teraflops. That's why I only have one right now. But it's taking those lab equipment level 3 and those electronics level 3 to make lab equipment level 4. Alright, so that's over here we were making the lab equipment level 3. We had some good reserve. I just send it back over here, and we're making now reserve of lab equipment level 4, which has enabled me to already build or upgrade one of my lab to this highest level. We could also upgrade the other one. It's costing resources that we have, 120 of the purple construction parts and 20 of the research parts, right? The purple one, which is also, you know, the one we just built. Now, I'm not gonna do this one because the reality is, remember, one of these research labs needs 4 per minute. And with this, I'm only making 6 if I have 12 lab equipment level 3. And I don't even have 12 of these, I only have 6 of these. So basically I'm making half, which is only 3. So definitely one research lab is gonna be enough. So let's build this flat conveyor over here, which will start this new research, right? With this, we should be able to get into the last part of the research. Let me move some of these. Yeah, we've done that. We have also, by the way, just finished at the bottom over here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, here. So just before moving forward, you know, I did this one, which is nuclear reactor level 2 already. I don't think we're gonna build it right away. I think we're gonna wait to get into the fast breeder and then build all 3 at once. But maybe don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you really want me to do the nuclear reactor level 2 quickly. But yeah, now we have this lab, this most advanced lab, beautiful as always, that is ready to go, and that is actually going. Now you may be surprised, but actually the first 2 things I want to do is over here, the ship engine level 3 and the ship weapon level 3. Why? Because with this, we will be able to do all of the other ones that were missing on the map, you know, conquer everything, so get some quick resources, unlock some new mines, and most importantly, have access to all of the contracts of the game, all of the mines of the game, so I can prepare for the final stage, you know, getting really into self-sustainable city. I still have a lot more to do, right? Obviously, we're gonna want, for example, to get into arc furnace level 2, and then with this, we can revamp completely our productions, right? Get into using graphite on top of the iron ore crush instead of the sand. We're gonna make a lot more with this. We're gonna make steam and a lot less exhaust, so that would be great, even if it does take a lot of energy and teraflops. We're gonna need, speaking about teraflops, we're definitely gonna want also to get into this one over here, the data center, where we're gonna start creating server, new resources, and those servers will be able to go into data centers, which will give us a lot more teraflops. So it's gonna be critical, but that's also gonna require maintenance level 3, which is using those electronics level 3. So we're not really ready for that either. There is more resources we need for our people, like consumer electronics. We're gonna want, of course, a bit more also of vehicles, of a bigger cargo depot. We have the final medical supply, level 3, and we have the fast breeder reactor, as I mentioned before, which also use superheated steam. That's a new type of steam. So there's still a lot, and as I said also, I think we're gonna need to slowly but surely revamp this whole piece over here to be into a completely new more optimized layout. And in particular also I want to start or stop using trucks to transform between this side of the layout to that side, right? Even if it's very short, it's still using a lot of trucks for nothing. So we're gonna want to do this. We need to upgrade our energy, right? Build the second part of the nuclear reactor. We're gonna need more teraflops, as I just said, and a lot more. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you have any questions about microchips, about electronics level 3 that we're gonna start just now, or anything that we covered in this episode. Smash like button, and I hope to see you next time.